and I could hear them referring to Maddie, Henry and Jordan as a triangle, and who should Jordan pick? And I was like, she does it for like a full hour.
Yes.
No, Jordan licking Henry's nipple. Hi, we're Tom and Jenkin, and you're watching Spy in the House.
I mean, for me, the only surprise I got from the viewer reactions was the stuff we heard from the crowds when we were in the gardens, because really we haven't even checked our social media at all yet, because all we wanted to do was just contact our family and friends and let them know we're all alright, and contact the other housemates who we wanted to speak to, make sure they're all alright. So we really haven't heard much from the public yet.
Yeah.
Which is a worry.
Yeah, it feels surreal, but like there's times obviously in the garden you can hear the crowd, and we heard obviously Paul's crowd reaction, and it's just stuff like that. I think we're trying to sort of avoid certain aspects of social media because we don't want to. I don't want to see that yet. I'm going to wait till after the final, and then I'll have a little gand.
Yeah, I'm not ready to see like who hates me yet.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about how that felt in that moment when you all heard that response.
I think when the crowd reacted to Paul, so we originally heard it in the garden beforehand, and I just think it was unfortunate that Paul was there, so Paul knew what he was going out to, and I think that solidified for him that he was going.
Yeah.
So then we had to obviously sit for an hour and a half with him.
Yeah.
And it was the sheer just panic and fear on his face that sort of like made it worse even. I think had we only heard it for 10 seconds, we'd been like, no, it's fine, like his family's there. But we had to live through it for like an hour and a half. And it was just, we didn't
realise how loud it would be. Like they play crowd and like music in the garden, but it would still like overpower that. But like as well, we heard things that we probably shouldn't have heard. Like we heard about the triangle the same day. But I think by the time it got to Trish's and Chanel's evictions, obviously we've been told like don't listen to it, to it, and then you hear the uproaring cheers for Trish and she still went. It's sort of, it was a massive shock to us.
Yeah.
Because obviously we were living by what the crowd was saying, and then the crowd was saying one thing and something else happened, which was a massive shock for us.
The thing you mentioned about hearing about the triangle.
On Paul's eviction, I was outside having a cigarette, and I could hear them referring to Maddie, Henry and Jordan as a triangle, and who should Jordan pick? And I was like,
and then you had the
we had no idea.
Like,
and I walked out, and Henry was stood in front of me, and everyone was there, and they were like, what was that? And I was like, nothing.
Because you could hear you could literally hear the crowd like, who thinks he should pick Henry? You heard the cheers. Who thinks he should pick Matty? You heard
one
the cheers.
person clapped.
One person clapped for Matty.
One person
and then
clapped
I
for
tell you
Matty.
what, I think what solidified the like that it could be something between Jordan and Henry is, from Henry's side at least, is he was eager to know. Like he wanted to know what the crowd thought.
But then after that, Jordan didn't talk to Henry for a full day. And that
was Hunger Games, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was so confusing.
You wouldn't speak to him. I think it was just confusion about it all.
That's been quite a big storyline for us as viewers. Like, is it as big of a deal in the house?
I mean, in the house is more of a joke.
In the house, generally, until we found out
we didn't know
about the triangle, no one had an idea. No one had an inkling.
Nothing.
We'd seen little things like Matty and Jordan having like a little bicker, but we never ever thought that there was anything like going on. Yeah, like, but I'm gay, so I don't know why it wasn't a square. Like, I was left right out of it. But I'm kind of glad, right? But nah, like, it was clear Henry fancied Jordan, but then Jordan never let on anything. And then when we found out that Matty was involved, I was like, none of this makes sense.
It was so confusing for us. But then I think Matty sort of distanced himself from it because we sort of heard about it. So I feel like it might have been completely different what was going on in the house if we didn't hear that chant about the triangle.
Yeah, so Jordan and Henry kissed, right? And I was like, oh my God.
Which one was that? Like the first time
yeah,
we saw it?
The first time we saw it. But then in the middle of the night, I woke up and I was like, what's going on? But it's never seen the light of day.
No.
Me catching them in the middle of the night and then them jumping back into bed. And when I woke up, I was like, I caught you two kissing. And they were like, it was a dream.
It was a dream.
And I genuinely believed that I was dreaming about them. Because Noki was like, yeah, I could hear you talking about Jordan and Henry in your sleep last night. But, I can't believe they got away with it for so long.
I mean, the only thing that really solidified it was when Liv walked in on them two, Henry literally straddling Jordan on top of him, and they are proper going like smooching.
Yeah.
And then Liv's face was just shock.
She's not fully recovered.
She's
still.
genuine. She had to go to the diary with Yimmer and they had to proper talk it out.
I think the hardest to live with was Farida. After the deep fried sweet corn and the pot noodle situation and the snacks. And we didn't actually get to live with it for so long, so it seemed hard at the time, but I think had we have had more time, it wouldn't have been so bad.
See, I was also going to say Farida, just due to the fact of the AGM stuff, the meetings.
Yeah, when she
The
got up on
meeting
the
really
table.
just was confusing to me. I wasn't a fan of it. And also how many gates came out. You had obviously the pot noodle, you had the salmons,
Yeah.
you had everything.
She kept trying to tell us to make sure we were creating a good show.
Yeah.
And that was sort of drummed into us by her. And I didn't want to hear about a weighted hula hoop for
No, I didn't want to
whole
about the
6 weeks.
TikTok shop anymore. I had enough.
Does it feel like a long? Because obviously that the previous life was so early in the show. Does that feel like a lifetime?
No, Farida never left.
Farida left the most. She left the biggest impact anyone could have ever left on that house. We are still talking about her in there.
Even in the room, we were talking about Farida.
Yeah.
And she's never left.
She's just
us.
iconic. You can't say she isn't. Like, you can say what you want about her. She leaves an impact wherever she goes.
Yeah, she's a slave.
She's.
Very funny hearing that perspective because obviously as a viewer you have a completely...
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably don't hear all the Farida chat.
No, we haven't since she left. It's like
Are you
You've
joking?
never had the Farida chats.
I shit you not, it's constant.
It's genuinely like honestly, at least like once or twice a day, at least.
like,
if not more.
Some nights I'm telling him, can you just shut up now? I'm sick of you. And I heard Farida. Yeah.
So like Jordan, Henry, me, Paul would be like, she would be like, oh, I heard Farida invented this, or I heard Farida discovered that. Just because she was always like one-upping people about things. It was just, the thing is, it was like, she'd take it in like good faith because it's just how she was. So it was just funny as anything.
we need a Farida edit.
Oh my
Honestly,
days, I wish there was.
At one point I was like, guys, you need to stop now. I'm trying to sleep and I can't. I heard Farida was Big Brother.
That was Jordan, yeah.
Yeah.
We were sort of forced to get to know him better in a way that we probably wouldn't when we weren't locked in a room together. And I think that at least with me, I had a lot more conversations with him about, for me, like how he is, and his like obviously his job before he came in here, and a bit more about him. And I was like, wait, I was completely wrong about you. And I told him before we left, we both said to him, said, look, we really hope you go back in because we know we kind of want our time to be up. It sounds really bad to that, doesn't it? But no, we were like, look, genuinely go back in there and smash it because you truly are a genuine bloke.
Yeah, I think it's no secret that me and Jordan weren't best of pals. I think that was pretty obvious. But because we'd done a task together and I thought, oh, actually, it's not that bad. And then we just didn't spend time together after that task. What was it? The family one? Me and Jordan had to pick.
To do like CCTV together.
Yeah. So then when we went into the room, I was like, I'm going to hate this. I'm going to hate every second. And then actually like talking to him and like him like expressing how he actually feels about Henry and just all sorts of stuff like that. I was like, do you know what? You're actually like one of the most genuine people in here. And I like misjudged you this whole time. And I told him like there's no doubt in my mind that he's the one going back into the house.
Yeah.
And I'm rooting for him.
I felt like a right asshole after nominating him face to face after speaking to him more. Genuinely. I mean, to be fair, at the time my reasons were reasons I thought were correct, but after speaking to him more I was like, oh, I was wrong. But you know what? We're not perfect.
We live and we learn.
Live and learn. It's almost like an hour in there is like a day on the outside. So like your feelings towards someone can change in like the matter of a couple hours because I don't know, you've been in a mood or you've been in a strop or somewhere else. It's like, well, it's changed now. It probably looks kind of weird seeing that because it's like, oh, they've got a problem, but oh, they're fine now. But it's just a case of you're in such a small environment and also the fact that there's so little people towards the end.
Yeah, it just feels very, like, obviously it's tight, but it just plays on your mind that you know it's such a small group and you know nominations are gonna happen, so you're just so paranoid in that house. It makes you just do weird shit.
It just makes you do shit sometimes.
Like Jordan licking Henry's nipple.
Yeah, he licked mine as well.
Oh,
It wasn't like it.
nah, I was out, man.
I mean, it was quite funny. So I was just happy Jordan came out of his shell, because first night it was like maybe 250 grand to get in that hot tub. Well, by that time it just took me and Henry going, Jordan, hop in, and he was in. He was loving it.
Yeah, but I was with Yinran when you were licking nipples. And
I
thought
wasn't
she
licking
was
any
gonna
nipples.
cry.
I didn't lick any nipples.
She nearly cried.
I can already tell you yours.
What?
I've heard him enough times now.
But what's my regrets, go on?
Bitching so much when you don't have a cigarette.
What?
Am I wrong?
I don't have any.
I'm not wrong, am I?
No. Yeah, I think I just regret being miserable when I can't have a cigarette.
Yeah, it's the same
and
for me.
being a moany little if I can't have a vape. Like, I remember one time I was walking down the corridor and Henry was like, "Ooh, nice shoes." And I was like, "F off!" Because I hadn't had a cigarette for like 5-6 hours.
Or when it was that eviction night, they locked the garden for ages, and I was like to Henry, I was like, don't mention cigarettes in front of Jenkin right now. He will lose his mind. I was like, it's going to be like poking a sleeping bear. He just goes to Jordan, he goes, oh, I'd quite like a cigarette right now. And Jordan goes, yes, I like a Marlboro Gold. And you're like, what would you say?
I'm not sitting in this room listening to the dickheads. And I walked out, and as I got to the door, I was like, by dickhead, I mean you. And just walked off. But then I always had to come back and be like, I'm really sorry, guys.
I've had my cigarette now, I feel better.
I was an arsehole.
That was the root of all our problems. The root of all our problems was just lack of cigarettes.
Yeah, I do regret that.
I regret being a massive, like, moody in that little spare room. I just lost my head in there. I don't know how. You lost your head in there, but you weren't as vocal about it. You just went to sleep. I wish I'd done what you'd done. You just moaned to Big Brother and you were alright.
Didn't feel like that.
It was quite a small room.
It was very small.
It wasn't.
The toilet broke like 4 times as well.
Yeah,
the
so
flush on the toilet broke like 4 times.
And then, like,
Big Brother asked if you
blamed me.
Big Brother said, who broke the toilet? You were the last to use it. What else
I
was I supposed
didn't
to
break
say?
the toilet though.
No, the toilet was broken.
But then when we went back in before the eviction, the whole toilet floor had flooded.
Yeah.
And it was just carnage in there, man. But that room, it was grim.
It was grim. We weren't even allowed to spray aftershave, so I'll tell you what, another day it would have started smelling in there, because we were only allowed showers in the mornings.
And the chicken task where we were running around and the foxes were chasing the chickens happened 2 days before in the exact same room.
Yeah.
So it absolutely stunk.
Yeah. Hey.
And I remember, like, on the first night, I put my blanket up and I was in a mood anyway. And there was, like, ants crawling across my blanket and I was like, I can't do this.
But you gotta think that was the room you used for like the ant challenge, where all the soil in there. Obviously, the
room
hay.
101.
That was room 101. You know what I mean? That's when bloody peas went everywhere.
Yeah.
So
What's yours?
my highlight at the time in the house was foul fast food.
Same. I loved
It
foul
was the
fast
best
food.
task ever.
I'm gutted I didn't get to see everyone's reactions to, like, actually eating it. But what I got to see was iconic. Yeah, I loved it.
I mean, I got to see everything. I got to see the making, I got to see the eating, I even got to ride a little bike.
There was one part, I don't know if anyone's ever seen it, but Tom was cycling down the corridor and he was on the last task and we were like, you've got 5 seconds, 5, 4, and he was like, I'm coming. And he was cycling so fast and we could hear him, like, out of breath. And he was like, we were like, 3, 2, and we just heard,
Yeah, the door wasn't unlocked.
straight into the door. The door was locked.
I wasn't even looking at the door. I was like, it's open, it's open. I slammed into it. You hear the bike wheel hit, then my head hit the door, and I was like, shit.
Loved it, man. No, I think I learned a lot from Chanel. Just because she, to us, always wore her heart on her sleeve, and any issue that she ever had, she'd always, like, say how she was feeling, and nothing was ever sort of hidden away.
No.
It was always sort of told.
She was so open.
Yeah, but then also I learned a lot from Trish, because Trish didn't really
She didn't hold back.
know, and I think, like, the whole open conversation and stuff like that, like, we did learn to sort of say things with our chest and just take the L.
Well, for me, I learned quite a lot from Matty, if I'm honest. He's just so confident in himself, and it's such an amazing trait to have. And I was like, you know what, if he can be that confident in himself, why not give it a go? And it just made me feel a lot more, just better in myself really, just trying to be more confident in myself, and I'm grateful he was there to, you know, pave the way. I think what surprised me most is it was so much more mentally challenging than I thought it would be. Like I went in there thinking I was like, oh yeah, like I'm so strong mentally, this will be a piece of piss, like this will be fine. And I tell you what, by week 3 I was crumbling. By the time I got to week 5, I was just a mess. I was like, my head is all over the place, what do I want to do? I was going to Jenkins, I was like, mate, I just don't think I can do it, I think I need to leave. It was awful.
Yeah.
It was an amazing experience, don't get me wrong, but the mental strain was more than I expected it to be.
I didn't expect to like miss people's as much as I did. Like I was like, oh, I can't wait, like have a break from everyone, not have my phone, like I don't even like living with my mum. And then next thing I'm crying because I can't even speak to her. And I think I was just so shocked that I would miss people and like sort of just miss real life. I wasn't prepared for that.
Like you lose your daily routine. It's like you don't do what you want when you want. You are at the beck and call of Big Brother.
And I'm the shit with the camera.
That was the worst thing. You're trying to go to the toilet and it's like there was one like the bathroom.
Yeah.
So the bathroom in the to the living room bathroom. So say this was the loo. The camera is right behind you.
The camera would see your shit before you did.
Yeah.
It was awful.
It was genuinely terrifying. Like you were just looking up there like, please don't look at me. Like a dog taking a shit in a field or something. It was like, please don't look at me. It felt shameful at times.
Yeah, there was that.
I didn't like it. And that spare room shower as well. The shower in that spare room we were in, it wasn't frosted. By the end of it, the first day we were like, fuck, a bit of towel up. By the end of it, it was like, yeah, I ain't bothered anymore. If someone wants to see that badly, just let them.
I was just crying, just like, I can't do that.
Same. Me going into the door and found fast food. That was my favourite moment of anything, and I proper went into that door.
That was funny.
That was so good, because you just wouldn't forget about it. Or when I broke the bike.
Oh,
I don't know if that was seen.
the boy.
My bike! My bike!
It's all weird. I wish, actually, so my humour is very, like, on the line, a bit, you know, risky. And I don't think my sense of humour saw the light of day. No. Yeah. So I think people probably think I'm a miserable bitch, but I'm not. I'm actually pretty funny, like.
I think it's why a lot of our like conversations looked like we were just being bitchy people, but that really wasn't most of it. Most of our conversations were just us joking around, making jokes and that, but I just think it might have been a bit too
much, man.
Too much. Like a bit too far, maybe.
I can't wait to see my mum. What about you?
I think I've got 2.
Who?
Mum and Liam.
You've not stopped talking to him all day.
Yeah, I don't normally go this long without speaking to my best mate.
He is text him constantly. We've been together all day and I've not got a look in. I actually feel left out.
No, you don't. You've had plenty of look-ins. You even want to speak to him, I think. I FaceTime my mum with you there.
Yeah.
You want to speak to mum?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you got to meet Debbie, I got to meet Susan.
Debbie. But now, well, obviously we're excited to meet Chanel.
Oh, I can't wait to see Chanel.
I'm going to see Chanel in 2 days.
We see Chanel.
Friday.
We see Chanel, we see Paul again. I'm looking forward to see Hallie as well.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
She's smashing it
Hallie.
out there from what I've seen.
Fair play to the girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't actually told Chanel, but I'm staying over her house tomorrow night, so I just hope she got the room because it's happening.
Sorry, she can have the sofa, you have the bed.
That's the plan.
That was what you already said.
Yeah. I think this year's different. In the house, we are aware there's vote to evict inside the house. So we've always gone through the experience knowing that if you face public vote and you win, it's not because you're loved, it's because you were the least hated out of that group.
Yeah.
And that's how we've all looked at it.
We've all just looked at it that way.
I don't think I am surprised by anyone. I did, to be honest, I'm a little bit surprised at Olivia, because I thought there might have been a chance she'd piss people off and she's been out.
I mean,
but I think she's very deserving of being in the final.
Yeah, she's absolutely hilarious. I don't know how much you guys see of Oliver at night, but Oliver is amazing.
Who's the other one?
Eric.
My name's
Eric, and I like lighting shit up.
She's
That's
absolutely
Eric.
nuts. I
Genuinely,
love her.
you give her a bit of Prosecco and she's absolutely just crazy.
She's wild.
She runs around pretending to be different. Who was that one who she put on one of Trish's wigs and was that Oliver again?
Oliver.
That was Oliver before the tree phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, the only time we've ever seen anything like that was in the talent show.
You've never seen Oliver?
Are you joking?
Oliver is genuine.
Oliver is iconic.
Genuinely, Oliver. He puts on the outfit, obviously, that they add on.
She does it for like a full hour.
Yeah, it's like an hour of Oliver. Genuinely.
An hour with Oliver
And it's
will
just-
change.
That context in the talent show, I was like, what is
Oh, so that's why the boos and cheers were made no sense if you didn't realise. No, but like Josie, we have Oliver like going around just trees.
Like, so Oliver will wear Matty's clothes and
Yeah.
like, hi, I'm Oliver.
I'm Oliver.
She does it all the time.
It's amazing.
He's hilarious. I miss him.
Oliver is probably my favourite housemate.
I miss Oliver more than
If
Olivia.
I genuinely miss Oliver the most out of
Yeah.
any housemate.
I wasn't a fan of Earl. Eric?
Eric was.
Eric.
Eric was.
Whoa. He only came for one night.
Eric came for one night and he got evicted,
Yeah,
didn't
he
he?
went.
Eric got forced out the door by Big Brother himself, probably.
It was bad.
We're both in the same.
Yeah,
views.
we both want Oliver to win.
We want Oliver.
Justice for Oliver.
Oliver deserves to win. He hasn't had enough airtime, bless him.
No, we both think that Olivia
Jordan.
and Jordan should win. I know they can't, but if it's either of those, I'm happy.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more Big Brother secrets.